An old cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day.
Cowboy!
All of which he rested as he went along his way.
Oh man, let's have a little chit chat.
Once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw plowing through the ragged sky.
How you guys doing? What's happening? Yippee-i-oh. Hey, am I live on Facebook yet? What's going on there, folks? Good to see everybody. We'll go live in like 30 seconds. I'm listening to Johnny Cash right now. Let's crank some Johnny Cash and then we'll have a little chit chat, have some fun after midnight. All right, Facebook, I'll shut it down. We can't play that devil music from Johnny Cash, man, or we'll just have to ban you off Facebook. What's going on, peeps? I changed my shirt. If you guys watched me last hour, I didn't have my anti-flare, or no, my anti-glare glasses on. And my gosh, I put my favorite band on, AC/DC. There's nothing like eating Cookie Crisp cereal, wearing an AC/DC shirt while listening to Johnny Cash. Because I'm listening to Ghost Riders in the Sky right now. And when Johnny Cash sings, he's got that angel of a voice like he's like Bret Michaels of Poison. He always talks like Johnny Cash. Have you seen Bret Michaels in concert? He's like, hey, man, I just want you guys to know this is just a rock and roll party, and I want to thank you guys for coming on over to my show. He's got that Billy Goat. Like Johnny sang that way. He's like, let me tell you, Ghost Riders in the Sky. I like Billy Goats. I like sexy Billy Goats. I like to put my finger in Billy Goats' little pies. I just did singing lessons. I learned this shit. I literally learned this in the 80s. Vibrato. If you don't know how to do that with your voice, you can't sing Ghost Riders in the Sky. You can't attract goats. You put me on a farm in Wyoming in the middle of the night when it's dark and warm on a summer night, I can round up with some goats and we can get dates. So if you guys hang out with me, we'll never go to the dance by ourselves. We will have at least Billy Goats with us. Because I'll go, Billy Goats? Is there any sexy Billy Goats? They're like, well, yeah, there's nothing to do. What are you doing out here in the dark at midnight? And I'm like, I'm just looking for some dates. You want to go to the dance with me and my pals? Because we don't want to sit in the corner like baby. You guys remember that darn show called Pretty Dancing or Dirty Dancing? Remember Jennifer, the girl that changed her nose? Like she was the young girl in Dirty Dancing, and then she cut her nose off and it changed her look so much she never acted again. But remember that handsome Patrick Swayze? He's like at the dance and he's like, nobody puts baby in the corner. And he walks up to her and with his sexy mullet, he took her on the dance floor and he flipped her around. And you remember, I had the time of my life and he held that Jennifer Grey actress way above her head and he twisted like this. I saw that. Now, sure, me and all my friends, we had Billy Goats on the side of the dance floor, but we got to see that. They let us in the dance because we had Billy Goats with us. So don't ever make fun of Billy Goats. Not only are they fun to hang with, but they kiss kind of good too. Who wants a purple tongue? Sugar-free, low calories, pomegranate energy drink. That's right, bitches. Look at, oh, this is Midnight Grape. I thought I had the pomegranate one. Cheers to everybody. What's going on out there? My gosh, these drinks are just damn delicious. And if I have to die because of my energy drink addiction, then so be it. Just bury me in a field with Billy Goats. That way late at night, I'm going to crawl out of the grave and I'm going to go get me a handsome billy goat. Actually, I'm being cremated. So if someone buries me, can you at least, like, you know, leave the jar, leave the urn open so I can come out and party with you fine folks. Look at this. I got mail. Sure, they're all bills, but you know what? Isn't it kind of fun getting mail? Like, even if it's junk mail, don't you guys open it and go, God, I remember when I'd get like a letter from a friend or maybe a pretty girl I met, like on a vacation in California. She wrote me because, you know, cell phones and pagers and all that shit wasn't really around. But all of a sudden, you'd get what is it called? A letter? I think it's called a letter. You'd open it up, and it'd be from a pretty girl going, Dear Corey, remember on the beach? I'm pregnant. That never happened to me this year. All right. Hey, it's after midnight. It's like 2 something in the morning. I'm in Salt Lake City. If you guys are in Europe or Asia, what are you guys doing? It's afternoon there. God, you know, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning over there. My buddies in Europe, and you guys in Asia, man, it's already late afternoon over there. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's like still the morning here. I haven't even went to bed yet. I'm too busy talking to you fine folks, drinking energy drinks, going, you know, I don't know why I can't go to sleep. Hey, can you guys hurry up with that hazelnut coffee and hand me one of those midnight grape energy drinks? They're only $1. And they're I don't know if they're new, but in Salt Lake City at a store called Fresh Market, they started carrying them. And I don't know if they're just trying to like give them away free to get us all addicted to energy drinks, but midnight grape, boy, if you like that grape juice, holy cow, or grape punch, these are delicious. I only drink with my pinky up. Okay, right now I'm cranking David Lee Roth in the background. I'm cranking Shy Boy, Shy Boy. You remember like Tobacco Road, you know, Just a Gigolo, Yankee Rose, Skyscraper. Remember Damn Good, all those great songs that David Lee Roth just killed it. Even without Van Halen, David Lee Roth, the first few albums were like, they were awesome. I personally loved them. And then David Lee Roth kind of went jazz and boozy, boozy bop, titty bop. I don't know what happened, but you know, here's Steve Vai and Billy Sheen. I can't play it too long, otherwise I get kicked off Facebook. But boy, those good albums, huh? They were fun. I still, you know, when Van Halen kind of took a break after what was the album? 1984. And I think that was around 1984. It's kind of funny when you have an album called 1984 and it kind of comes out then. What a coincidence, huh? Because that album could have been called 1934. And I would have still bought it. The cassette, maybe the album, then CDs came out. You know, one of the first CDs I ever got where I had to pay for it, because I was in radio a lot of years and I got free stuff, which was way cool. But one of the first CDs I ever bought was Skyscraper by David Lee Roth. Remember, he's kind of like in a red and blue. He's kind of dressed like Mario Brothers. You know, that little Geppetto looking sexy Italian kind of lumber worker guy or whatever Mario was of Mario Brothers. But I remember David Lee Roth, like for some reason, he was dressed like Super Mario Brothers. And he was starting to go bald, so he had like his famous hats on, but he's like sitting there on the outside of a mountain, just looking like he's busy as hell. And I'm like, God damn it, David Lee Roth is even badass off stage. I live in Salt Lake City. I live right at the bottom of Snowbird and all these ski resorts in the mountains. And they have a famous wall, and it's called the Cliff Lodge. It's just like a big hotel in Snowbird, but in the summertime, you can climb it. You know, they put like those simulated rock things, and you know, you can climb it without you have a rope on in case you fall to your death. But I remember David Lee Roth, he was really into mountain climbing for real. So when Skyscraper came out, he really was into like rock climbing and doing all that stuff. And I remember Lee Roth was up there, and like everybody knew, it's like, because rock climbing is not really famous. There's like maybe one famous rock climber. It's that young kid that's on Netflix that just climbed the most dangerous mountain in the world. But still, no one really knows who he is. But when David Lee Roth was up there, it was like shocking, like, oh my God, that's Van Halen, David Lee Roth. So everyone knew. A couple years went by, And I went up the snowbird with my buddy Russell. We were on our race bikes. And when I was up there, for a couple bucks, you could go ahead and climb the side of the cliff lodge. I've seen many people do it, and they make it look easy. If you're a professional rock climber, it's amazing how, you weigh like 140 pounds. I weigh 220, and they just, one hand is perfect. One leg is like a spider, just, perfect balance. Even if they have to stretch way over, they're just perfectly balanced. And it seems like it only takes them 2 minutes to go up the side of a full giant hotel wall. I get up there. I was able to make it to the top. It took me, I think, 28 minutes. And I think a normal rock climber that was badass only took like 2 minutes. But I'll be darned if I didn't get halfway up. And I had to tell the rope guy, because they put a rope on you and they keep it like two feet loose. That way, if you fall, you don't fall and then the rope gets you and then all of a sudden you break the mechanism. If you fall, the rope is only like a foot or two away from you anyway. So it's just a nice, graceful fall. But I remember rock climbing. I got halfway up and my arms and legs were full. I can't remember when you run out of, either all the blood is out of your muscles or it fills up with, or all the oxygen's gone. But I remember being halfway up and I lost my arms, like the sleep. You ever go to sleep and your arms like asleep and you have to grab your arm to get it off your own body? It's the creepiest feeling, like when you're lifting weights and you can't get that extra 300-pound dumbbell or barbell up. But I remember sitting up there and I was stuck. And I told the guys, I just said, hey, you know what? I'm okay. I don't want to come down. I just have to rest a few minutes to load myself back up with oxygen and guts and muscles. It took me 10 minutes, which seems like 5 hours up there when you're on the side, like 40, 50 feet up. And I had 100. I think I climbed a 10 or 12 story, might have been even 15 stories. But I got halfway up and I was stuck. And it took me literally 10, probably more than that, just to get like I could go. Oh my God. When I got to the top, and you roll. It's not like you stand up and go like this, like Rocky at the end of Rocky. When you're that exhausted, when you get to the top and you put your arms, you literally roll over because you're so tired, you can't even stand up. So what I did, I got to the top, I remember my chest, I was going to try to stand up and at least put my arms up like, like success, or I'm the king of the mountain, or I'm the king of the world, like Titanic. I remember all I did is I got to the top, I rolled onto the roof area, and I literally had to stay there for like 20 minutes just to try to get my oxygen back. Because if you're in Utah, we're a mile up like Denver, but when you get up into the Snowbird Mountain, it's at the top of the Rocky Mountains. So you're looking at like, is it 13,000 feet or is it 9,000? I can't remember, but the oxygen is low up there. And when you're like out of shape and you're climbing 15-story, complete cement, wall, placed with those rocks, those simulated rock things, or maybe they're real, I don't know, but damn, I'll never forget that. But that Lee Roth album, he really is into rock climbing. I don't know if he is now. I know now he smokes weed. He was a paramedic and he's now, singing Van Halen tunes in Vegas, I think, for 15 shows. But that was awesome. When he went to Snowbird and he climbed the cliff wall, and then I was able to do it years later. I think I paid like $25. Now it's probably 50 or probably 100, but that was awesome. Reason I'm bringing it up is because, we've been talking about the 80s all day. And we were kind of going, what videos were life-changing? And I think David Lee Roth had a whole bunch. You remember Just a Gigolo or California Girls? Remember they'd have like mini movies. Like Michael Jackson will always be known as Thriller. That one is always going to be considered one of the best, shocking, crazy 80s videos of all time. Even in 2019, it's considered, probably the top video of all time, because it was more or less a movie, really. And then it was like a musical, and then it was a video. I'm sure they blew top-notch money on that thing, on that video. But I just remember David Lee Roth. He'd have like mini movies, because California Girls is only like a minute. It's like a 2-minute song, but with like, with the guy coming out like Just a Gigolo, or just doing all those crazy, like Dave TV. Remember, he's like, hey, this is Dave TV. And then with Yankee Rose, he'd go in the little store and, there was like the little cash register guy and, a girl that was real gross come up and she was yelling at him. And But I wanted to play some of it. I can play videos over this feed right now. As long as I keep the sound down, Facebook and their Shazam software won't catch me playing music. So they won't like zap me off, you know. Usually if you're watching live, I can get away with anything. But when I go to upload it, if I have too much content of music, they just make it to where they'll upload it, but it's not really uploaded. Only I can see it. It's like, is it called ghosting? Where like you go to Craigslist, you try to upload something. It looks like it's there, but it's not. Only you can see it. But Facebook's good at ghosting my content. So as long as I just play little bits of music. But as far as visual, I've never gotten in trouble. Like I have access to brand new movies that are out in the theater now. And if I just go ahead and play them on your screen, I can probably get away with it as long as I have no sound. So, you know, if there's sign language, like whatever, you guys can watch movies on this feed. We just can't play any sound. So anyway, all right. I wanted to just play a couple videos. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen, okay? So I got to hit a button that says share. And hey, everyone in the chatty room, if you guys are there, man, what's up? What's up? All right, can you guys see my screen? Can you see that little thing called Yahoo or YouTube? YouTube. Let's go to YouTube. Hey, in the chat room, man, if you are there, there's Sil Phil, man. She's in the house, a hot babe in California. That's right, Sil Phil. She was the bikini girl in California Girls with David Lee Roth. Do you guys want to see Sil Phil? Oh, and hey, Janet. What's up, Janet? I love it. Hey, Janet. Is it Jeanette? That was the name of Ace Frehley's wife, if I remember right. All right. Hey, Raul. Hey, good to see you guys. What's happening out there in good old late at night land? Let's do California Girls. California Girls. And then let's just put in David Lee. Oh, shit. I just hit. But this, oh, my God, this is so famous. Okay, now, like I said, I can't play any music over, or Facebook just bans me. But look at that. Thank Heaven. This is so famous. Thank Heaven for Little Girls by Maurice Chevalier. You know, obviously a pedophile. And some of the other sizes too. Diamond Dave. So I used to read that as a kid going, you know, I was like a teenager out of high school. Like around 1985, I was out of high school just thinking my whole world was going to be just party, beach, David Lee Roth, surfing, girls just digging me, man, going, Corey, make out with me, man. Get your peachy folder. Write my name on your peachy folder. None of that ever happened, of course. All right. Well, I love that phrase. Thank Heaven for Little Girls and some of the other sizes too. Oh God, this brings back so many memories. You know, this video is obviously right in the heart of when MTV was amazing. But this is off VH1. David Lee Roth still had his hair. He wasn't bald yet. But this is the famous music from the Twilight Zone. And the guy talking is supposed to be Rod Serling.
Tourists on a road the travel agent never told them about. A road leading to the shadowy tip of nowhere.
Okay, I can't play it too much or I'll get banned, but look at that. Look, the little Mexican guy with his girlfriend pregnant, got the big fat lady. And there's Dave, man. Like, I was idolizing Dave because I just wanted like long brownish blonde hair, surfer look, just totally like I've been rode hard and put way wet. I still look like that in 2019. I never did get over this look. Everyone else has a haircut and looks all nice and fresh and sexy. I look like I'm still stuck in 1985 with David Lee Roth here. Well, there's a typical California day. Did you see all the clouds and stuff? See all this? Like growing up in LA, you know that there's smog everywhere and stuff, and then there's haze. If you grow up around the beach like I did in Santa Barbara, it's cloudy every morning. And then by noon, it finally burns off. Now, if you live in LA, it's disgusting and just smog everywhere every day. But if you live outside of Los Angeles, it's actually blue skies and stuff. So if you go to LA, you're going to be disappointed with the brown haze and pollution. But, you know, just get up by Calabasas or Ventura, Oxnard, or get over by Malibu and stuff. Just, you know, go to the beach, get out of the, you know, LA is just disgusting with traffic and smog. Okay, so here we go, man. Let's watch this video quietly so I don't get banned on Facebook. But I just want to see some of the happy, kick-ass 80s videos back in the day. You know what's cool? I just saw Brian Wilson a couple days ago. The real guy who sang this with the Beach Boys. He wrote it and sang it. I sat literally in front of his piano watching him. And you guys can see the video. If you go back a week or so, you can see JT and I just kicking ass at the Zombies and Brian Wilson show. That was so cool. God, this video. Look at Dave, man. Look at, okay, see this girl right here? I used to think, I'm going to totally get a girl like this. And guess what? I never did. But this is right when David Lee Roth couldn't have been more cool. Okay, now see this? Girls used to wear, they were called pumps, because now they wear more like platforms. But girls used to wear pumps, and they were kind of flat toe, and then they went up like 4 inches. And then all of a sudden they went 6 inches. And then all of a sudden strippers started getting platforms. But this was back in the day when girls would start getting bigger boobs like D or double D, and they'd only weigh like 110 pounds. But look at the booty. You know, can you see the feet? She had pumps and little baby socks on. I forgot what those are called. Those are called baby dolls or whatever. But I remember all the girls were wearing socks with high heel pumps. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I grew up on the beach. Girls were barefooted. I didn't even know girls wore shoes until I moved to, you know, in the 80s in Utah. But look at David Lee Roth, man. Like, he's got shredded jeans on. My family's from Iowa. There ain't no girls dressed like that in Iowa. Oh, that was hot. There's me now. Like, I live in Utah, so in the wintertime, I always look for hot babes to cuddle with me in hot tubs and snow. And I still don't get any girls like David Lee Roth. Yeah. I'm going to jump off. Oh, this is so great. Oh my God, this girl's face. This girl was like so famous as just a face because she had like the cheekbones. And if you look at her face, if you guys remember who Raquel Welch is, if you're a little older like myself, she was just a super effing star in the 60s and the 70s. She was, you know how you always hear like, you know, Bo Derek was hot back in the 80s. And then you hear Michelle or Heather Locklear and Pamela Anderson like in the 80s into the 90s. And now you always hear like Angelina Jolie, although she's like 20 years ago. But I don't know who's considered the hottest girls now. But Raquel Welch was just awesome in the 60s and the 70s. But look at her face. She still had the big hair, these glasses. But look at the cheekbones, the nose, and the face. All of us guys watching this were like, who the hell is this girl? Is this Raquel Welch's daughter? Because she's so hot. Look at that. Damn. Okay, now this girl here is from Utah. I know her well. This is Cynthia Brimhall, the girl that I'm circling on the right. She's a Playboy Playmate. And when I moved here, I didn't realize how many beautiful girls were in Utah. I actually see more hotter girls here than even in California and Vegas. And I don't know what it is, but there's just amazing beauty here. And Stephen Wada, the most famous Playboy photographer of all time, lives just up the street from me. He lives up the canyon going into Park City. But we've had over 24 Playboy Playmates just from Utah. This is one of the first ones. And Cynthia, she's a natural redhead with really white skin. And it was always funny because this is kind of before spray tan and everything. But look at Cynthia. She was like a Playboy Playmate. She was really pretty. She had super bright red hair and super electric white skin. But I always loved it because she's in California Girls where you should be on the beach with a tan. But since she was so hot, they're like, screw it. Let's just put a super electric white Utah-born Cynthia Brimhall in the video. I love it. Yeah, look at her blowing a kiss. There's Dave, man, just eating it up. I wish I could play the music louder. Okay, now this girl, bodybuilding has always been around, but back in the 80s, no one really thought about a girl like looking like a man until this video came, because bodybuilding was more about men, and then the women were strong looking, but they were still more fitness based. But it seemed like after this video, bodybuilding became really mainstream, and all of a sudden you'd see women that look like men. And this, I'll never forget, because I had never seen a strong man looking woman until this video. So we couldn't pause like this and comment, but we just watch MTV and go, okay, they probably play California Girls like every 4 hours. So if I was around someone with MTV, we couldn't wait until this video came on because we wanted to see the girl with the glasses, Cynthia Brimhall, all the pretty girls. And then during this part, we'd shit our pants like, oh my God, that's a man in a bikini. And look at how big her boobs are. They're like -A. I don't even know if those are considered boobies. I honestly, at almost 53 years old, I have bigger boobies than this woman right here. But she was so famous because bodybuilding bikini babes was not even invented yet until this video. And we used to think David Lee Roth was like the best dancer, but did you just see the moves that he did? Here, watch this repeat. Watch David Lee Roth. Watch him dance. Because back then I thought, God, that guy knows how to dance. Watch these moves. Wow, helicopter, splits. What's that? The robot, like, yeah, walking man, running man. So I was watching this video going, God, that guy must be a dancer. But look at that, just total 80s. Like girls with ratted hair, all looking badass, with pumps. They weren't platforms yet. But see this girl? Total stripper shoes. Do you see her black pumps? Because girls' pumps were 2 inches. Then they went to 4 inches, and it made their thighs and their legs look pretty hot. But when the girls got 6-inch pumps, their feet were more straight up and down, so it made them even look taller, and it makes the leg look sexier in a high heel position. But oh my God, we'd look at these girls going, damn, they got 6-inch pumps. And then the girl right there in the pink, she had baby booty socks on like a baby. So we're thinking, oh my God, she wants us to think that she's a baby with boobies. And we're like through our fucking heads. So there's the man girl. Look at her. Look at that. That's Bruce Jenner. I didn't want to ruin it. Spoiler alert. Right here, this is Bruce Jenner. I had no idea that he was a guy that looked like a girl that is now a girl again. Okay, right here, I swear to God, I have fantasized about being David Lee Roth, surf position with babes, with thigh gap. Do you see where their thighs have like a little inch? Every guy always talks about this, except if he's in the presence of girls. Because we have like these little, is it a fetish if you have like little parts that you like? Like some people like boobs, elbows, feet, buttholes, I don't know. But if you had thigh gap, like if you stand with your legs together and you have like a little gap, guys go, thigh gap. So we'd look at this girl going, damn, she's got like 2 inches, man. She's even badass. Oh, and this too. Who doesn't remember this part? The famous scream, ready? Who hasn't went, wow, and then go, do-do-do-do. You know, here's David just dancing his ass off. Okay, her body, that's Cynthia Brimhall from Utah. But look at that, nice and flat. Total, this was like a daring bikini back in the 80s. You know, it was like high up on the hips, and the crotch area was getting a little smaller because girls started shaving their pubic hair then, not all the way. But this is when the landing strip came out. Because before that, it looked like a full-size pie triangle. You know, and before that, it just looked kind of like a jungle. But this is when the girls started really getting sexy. Us guys are like, damn, that girl's crazy. She's got a landing strip. But David takes martial arts. You can tell right there the way he's jumping around. Then this girl's just cool, man. Remember the were they called Ray-Bans or Varnays? Or was it Ray-Ban? Remember Tom Cruise in Risky Business? Because everybody started getting this style. Like, you know, Tom Cruise is 1980, 81, wasn't Risky Business, but and then this girl, I never knew who she was. I always wanted to do a background check, but she's got a fitness body. You can tell she works out more than just being naturally skinny. The boobs were like medium size, because after this video, every girl started getting really big implants, like 500, 600, 700 cc's. I've bought girls 2 boob jobs, so I know how much they cost and how big they are and where they go. But yeah, see this girl, she had little booby implants and she was kind of ripped, and her hair, her face was gorgeous, but we never knew who she was. That was like designer boobs there. You see that? They're kind of, they might even be real, but they're not. You can tell. How you can tell a boob job is see the very top of the boob. When it has a crevice like that, that's not natural. But yeah, this girl had like a total 80s body, kind of D, full D, kind of just, you know, and then the 80s hair, big glasses. I mean, this girl was the 80s, man. All right, man. Well, we handled it. You guys go through memory lane? Memory lane. God, I love it. I could watch this all day. Okay, now this was in a trilogy. If you remember David Lee Roth, the reason he sang California Girls, he was actually making a mini movie. Now, after 1984 came out, and, you know, I'll Wait, Panama, Jump, that whole album has way better songs too, like I'll Wait and Panama and Jump. They're just, they ate up the radio. But Top Jimmy and Drop Dead Legs, holy shit. If you guys want to crank some music, listen to those. And if you guys are big fans of Van Halen, you guys have every album probably memorized as it is, except for Van Halen 3 with Gary Sharon. We all pretend that album didn't get produced. But after 1984 came out, Eddie was more into keyboards. He wanted to take more time to do certain things. Well, Lee Roth was like, God, we're getting off the biggest, massivest tour and wave that they've ever been on. I mean, Van Halen literally was one of the biggest artists, musicians in the world, not hip hop, not disco meets new wave. I mean, the 80s had a lot of competition, but by the time 1984 came out and was burned out, they were one of the biggest bands in the world because they were getting played on top 40 stations and rock stations. MTV had not broken Panama and I'll Wait the way that Dave was here, because these were fun with little mini movies. But David Lee Roth was like, let's just keep going, man. Let's just get more guitars and kick some ass. And Eddie's like, nope. So Dave said, screw it. I'm going to get with Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers is movies, but it's also music. So they're like, well, why Eddie, you know, figures out keyboards and more style or direction they want to go, Lee Roth signed a deal to make a fun, bubblegum, crazy, wacky, tits and ass movie called California Girls. That's why when you get with Just a Gigolo, California Girls, and there's only 2 or 3 more songs on that, because it's a little EP, halfway during the production of the movie, the whole plug was taken out. So half of the soundtrack was made. The movie was never filmed. But in the meantime, David Lee Roth's like, okay, well, what's going on? Eddie, can we make the movie? What's going on? And Eddie's like, you know, from what I hear, he's just really hard to work with. So Lee Roth's like, okay, I guess I'm kicked out of the band. And that's what happened. You know, obviously they got Sammy Hagar a year later to fill in. And Lee Roth's like, let's just keep the, you know, Dave talks like this back then, but he's like, let's just keep the party rocking, man. I'm the party. Let's go rock. So I'm glad he did, because his first album, I think, was awesome. Second and almost third album are really worth buying. They kind of get a little different after that because it goes more jazz and more, you know, it's different. And you guys know what I mean if you're a big fan like I am. But I want to show you, let me get my screen here. I'll flip it over. Hold on a minute. I got to hit my share button. All right, let's go through. Okay. This just put Dave in the stratosphere. Like, let's make a movie called Dave TV. We'll make California Girls. I mean, whatever it takes. Let's just get Lee Roth. You know, he's owning it music-wise, and he's owning MTV at this point. But this just put him on the map. He was more famous than Eddie Van Halen at this point. All right, now obviously, this is the beginning of Just a Gigolo. They're just showing California Girls.
Positions, please. Here we go. 6, 5, 4,
Dave!
3, 2, rolling. Dave! Hey, another spectacular.
Okay, I got to turn it down because the Shazam software will get even David Lee Roth talking here. But yeah, Dave still had his hair, man. He was still hanging in there. But they're just like, you know what, California Girls, the movie's gone, the soundtrack's like not even budgeted for a full album. So let's just go ahead and release it as an EP. And I'll tell you, this is just a remake smartass song. But this song is it's just as fun as anything Van Halen ever made, in my opinion. Who does not remember this guy? I mean, and look at his lips. Like some of the hottest girls that I know in Utah, their lips look the same as this. They get that weird Botox stuff. And look at, I mean, look, I had no idea that a 1985 video would still be popular lip-wise in 2019. Look at that. I think I dated her. I'd probably date her right now. I'm kind of lonely, you know? Okay, here we go.
Forget about it, Dave.
Forget about it. All right, if you're just tuning in, we're just reliving the 80s. Look at Dave.
Now, if I could do a video. Lucky. Hey, you in the red. Yeah, there you go.
See that? All of us guys watching this are like, damn it, now we got to get boxers and not tighty whities. And we got to find hot chicks that'll rip our pants off. I was never able to do that. I do rip my pants off myself, but I have to watch this video at the same time. Usually.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it like that at all.
Now here's the famous glare.
Just like this.
See that? I mean, I mean, I'll never forget watching it, and I couldn't pause it. But I just remember when Dave looks at the camera and goes, I'm going to turn my sexy on and get chicks. And I remember that phrase like that. So I think I even tried to do that phrase, and it got me no chicks even back then as well.
This.
Yeah. See, Michael Jackson watched this, and he goes, hey, I need some gloves like David Lee Roth.
Just a gigolo.
Everywhere I go. Who originally sang this? Was it Frank Sinatra? Or I know it's a crooner, but this song's a remake from, you know, like the 50s or whatever. God, I wish I could turn the music up. I'm sorry, you guys. I can only play like 5 to 7 seconds and turn it down or they'll shut me off. Oh my God, this girl, she had the famous pumps. I think they're all the way up to 6-inch here. So she's almost on her toes. And then they started wearing those fishnet looking things. And we're like, oh my God, this is hot. So I remember in the 80s, all of a sudden girls, they're getting boob jobs, but they'd get the bustier. And then with Madonna and all these hot babes, I never saw fishnets in my life until this era of music came out. You know, and obviously fishnets have been around forever. But oh my God, this girl here, I remember just going, holy shit, that is a woman. Damn, look at that body. Damn. That guy's famous. Did you guys see The Astronaut? It's like when you watch it and analyze it, like I'm doing this like pop-up video where you comment during the movie, but how many people even realized that the MTV, the astronaut is in the movie? Because everyone watching the video is watching the naked girls, but no one knew that there was like the darn astronaut rocking out. Did you see that? Frankenstein? How many knew Frankenstein was rocking? You guys didn't even notice. Did you guys know that pirates rocked? That's right, pirate radio. You guys heard that phrase, didn't you? Well, it started right there. There's a pirate rocking his ass off. Okay, now this isn't really accurate because by then Michael Jackson was whiter than me. But it's so funny. Watch this Michael Jackson impersonator, man. He's got it down to a T. Now, the only thing missing in real life is Emmanuel Lewis, Macaulay Culkin, and Corey Feldman. Because in real life, during this video, the real Michael Jackson was naked with every child actor in Hollywood. So they couldn't really put this in the video for obvious reasons. Oh, God. Remember Cyndi Lauper? She was doing her Girls Just Want to Be Fun and her crazy dancing by flinging her dress around. But Lee Roth is kind of dressed like Raiders of the Lost Ark there in the badass boots. Now with David, for some reason he went full-blown jazz, because this type of music, man, I mean, it's like jazz is like everything to Dave. I wish he'd just go heavy metal, chord, AC/DC. I wish he'd just do a heavy metal album that sounded like Women and Children First or Fair Warning. I guarantee you, us maniacs that love Van Halen, I'd pay $30 for that album if he would just do a simple 1980 produced rock song. No boozy bop, no keyboards. I just, a rock song, I'm not a keyboard guy. But damn, I wish Lee Roth would just do a 1980 album again. Buzzy bop, titty bop. Okay, now this is making fun, or not making fun, but just kind of paying tribute. This is when Motley Crue had, like, do you guys remember Too Young to Fall in Love and Shout at the Devil? Remember how famous that was? You know, with the fire and the Pentagon stars and all that crazy shit. Now this was kind of like funny. This is kind of making fun of Ace Frehley, who got shocked in real life. And it kind of mixed with Michael Jackson, who caught on fire doing a Pepsi commercial. And if I remember right, I think they go into Billy Idol. Look, the fire guy, look at the guitarist is on fire. I mean, God, this whole video is so funny. God, I could watch this shit all night. You know, that was the priest, you know, devil music. This was the PMRC, the Parent Resource Coalition or something. But, you know, if you're young, you didn't have to deal with this bullshit. But there was like a woman married to Al Gore. I think her name was Tipper Gore. And the PMRC, if I remember right there, they're just a bunch of adults that said that all music can't have the F word and it can't be sexual. Otherwise, it's got to be banned. And that's kind of what he's making fun of here, because it was a big deal. For 5 years, it was annoying. You know, with the freedom of speech, they were never going to be able to change music. But that's kind of why he's making fun of the censor board here. Now, in real life, most Catholic priests, they love shaking weenie. So by this priest having a heart attack, it's not that he was shocked. This simulates that he's in love with David Lee Roth's crotch. Because as you know, if you watch the news every week, there's always a Catholic priest just totally doing nonsense with the boy choir. So. Then this was Richard Simmons, because back then they had Olivia Newton-John, Jane Fonda, and Richard Simmons just debuted being a world famous guy with banana or dolphin shorts. You know, here's Billy Idol, man. He really looks like Billy. Now, unfortunately, David kind of like grew to like this look on a personal level. So if you saw him walking the streets of New York or LA, God, David, he became fabulous. I think the word is flamboyant. Then who doesn't know the great Willie Nelson? And then there's the girls. Kid at Culture Club. Who doesn't know Boy George? It really looks like the real Boy George. Look, he's even dancing like him. Look at his man, that darn Boy George, he was just ripping David Lee Roth's clothes. You know, this is like every guy my age when we would see these videos, we wanted this lifestyle so bad. You darn girls have all the power. I mean, look at this. Girls in spandex. This girl in the most 80s hairdo I've ever seen. This girl with her big boobs just hanging out. And then Lee Roth dressed like Boy George meets Elton John and Freddie Mercury. And we're thinking, okay, now look, do we grow our hair long and wear spandex? Or do we wear like a black AC/DC shirt? Or do we start wearing shit like David Lee Roth? Because none of us knew how to dress back then, because David Lee Roth was getting all the chicks, but he was dressed like Boy George. So we had like identity crisis action going on badly. Yeah, look at that. Look at that body. Holy shit. All right, I'll play the end, man. Dave!
Whoa! How about that for rock video music fans?
That's right.
All Dave, all night. We know what you need.
That's
Only
right. Yeah,
here
here.
on
Dave TV. That's right, man. And who doesn't know that big old face called David Lee Roth, man? Oh, he is a true legend. I love David Lee Roth. I got to know him on a more of a personal level, away from the stage and everything else. And my experience with David Lee Roth is amazing. I love his music even more just because he treated me so darn nicely. I got to meet him a few times, and on one time I was only in my 20s and I owned a big dance club called the Power Plant. I had not only Car Wash with Rose Royce, The Fix, Samantha Fox, I had Motley Crue and David Lee Roth play at my nightclub in Salt Lake City. I was 24 years old, and credit carding, borrowing money, everything I could, because I had some of the biggest rock bands in the world playing at my dance club that held like 1,300 people, which is pretty big, but still, it was one of my personal highlights. David Lee Roth played at a reduced rate. It was $12,500. You know, and Van Halen was getting probably $500,000 in their heyday, but for $12,500 cash, he goes, "I'll come, but you have to build a stage. You have to have proper, sound, lighting." It was way overkill. He got out there and did just all the songs that you wanted him to play, and can Billy Sheehan play like Michael Anthony? Yes, he can. He can probably play a lot of different things than even Michael Anthony. Is the drummer of Van Halen Bissonette? Is he a great drummer? Yes. Can he simulate Alex Van Halen? Yes. But the problem is like, if I had the real Van Halen, somehow I'd have to come up with $500,000 to $1 million and sell each ticket to the show for about 100,000. So I did. I had solo Dave play. He played for a reduced rate. He promoted the show great. Everybody that came to the show got to shake his hand, and I can't say enough about how great David Lee Roth is as a person and how he treated us in Salt Lake City. So I have nothing bad to say about David Lee Roth. It was so cool. So, but anyway, cheers, everybody. If you guys are just listening or just bored and you're on Facebook, Corey Draper here for all my peeps out there. I'm not doing a training tonight. I know my feeds are live over in Europe right now. And if you're in Asian territories, I'm not doing any training. What I'm doing tonight is I'm reminiscing. When you get in your 50s, this is what you do. It's called reminiscing. Most people can't even spell it. I get to REM, and after that I have to go to reminiscing. I have to get a Little River Band album because they had a famous song called Reminiscing. That's the only reason. That's the only way I can spell reminiscing. I know how to do it. So when you get older and you're a father, or you're just somebody that had a pretty cool lifestyle and now you're more just normal lifestyle, what you do is you reminisce. And that's what I'm doing. You go, damn, back in the 80s, I did this, and man, I did that. And boy, the other day I was doing this that reminded me of doing that. And when I was your age, I was doing this, and then I did that. And the reason why you kids were born is because I watched that video and I recreated what David Lee Roth did with that. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm reminiscing again. So what's better than reminiscing? You guys are all going to do it. I don't know how young you are or old, watching this recording, or maybe you're watching it live, but you guys are all going to learn how to reminisce. You're not going to know how to spell it, but you will get a Little River Band album and start reminiscing. I think it's cut 8. All right. Coming to Salt Lake City is something I'm very excited. I love music. I love movies. I collect an insane amount of stuff, and it's almost embarrassing. It got so out of control over 30 years that my insurance agent made me film everything with video and pictures to document all this crazy stuff that I've been buying forever. Most of the things are called toys, trinkets, action figures, dolls. I do it all, baby. I do it all. I love it. It brings me so much happiness. Now, a doll is like this. That's Harley Davidson, Barbie right there, pink. She has boobies and a back tattoo. There's another doll right there. There's a doll in a bikini. When it comes down to dolls that are crazy with hatchets and hockey masks, Freddy Krueger, who doesn't know this? Go to sleep, and I'm going to cut you up when you dream. I mean, everyone knows Robert Englund probably, and Jason is my personal favorite. I have everything Jason. I'm on a stationary webcam right now, but if I was on my cell phone, I could walk you around just a little bit of my studio, and I've got the hockey mask of Jason. I have the bobblehead of Jason. I bought the script from, I think, 1979's Friday the 13th Part 1, because I really got into just collecting scripts, because it still amazes me when someone can just get you a bunch of paper, back in the day, computers weren't even that popular yet, but just get some blank paper, come up with an idea, and start writing cool stuff. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's based off a Mormon guy that actually was chainsawing and doing crazy shit. So if you read the history of well, how did Michael Myers come of Halloween's? Or how did Richard Carpenter come up with Carrie? Where at the end, she's like the demon, and just everyone at the dance, like John Travolta and Sissy Spacek, and how did that come to be? And if you go to Wikipedia or just Google, go to the background of stuff. Just don't watch a movie and get bored with it. Just get into it, man. Go to the Wikipedia, see who wrote it, who inspired it, who made the soundtrack, and then study the actors. It's fun to go what happened to this girl in the original Halloween, and just study it. It's fascinating. I think you guys will really love just music and movies and everything if you guys just kind of go deep and kind of study something a little bit more. And it's all free on the internet now. So what I'm getting at is, everybody's heard of Comic-Con. Everyone knows when there's music events. Could be the MTV Awards. It could be the Grammys. It could be the Oscars. It could be the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yearly show. I just watched that the other day. Rest in peace, Rick Ocasek and all those great guys. But right now, when it comes to murder and crazy wackos with machine guns and chainsaws, people that wear William Shatner masks, which is Michael Myers in Halloween, that big white mask, it's the mold from William Shatner of Star Trek. When they made it, they're like, God, who's the most common normal face? We just want to get a mask of a normal guy. And at the time, they just go, how about William Shatner? God, he's all these crazy characters, but everyone, so they use William Shatner's face to come up with the original mask of the original Halloween, 100 years ago. So, there's been gore, there's the band Gore, there's action figures, there's all this cool shit, all based around fear, blood. Now zombies are at an all-time high. And the movies that are deemed camp, they're campy. If you're a younger person, you probably haven't heard that term in a long time. Those are my favorite kind of movies. And the cult classics, like The Blob, Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town. I could go on for 10 years talking about just gore, the band Gore, and blood, guts, and crazy shit. And I think I got into it because Gene Simmons of Kiss was. And everyone knows my history. Kiss is one of the most influential bands and lifestyles in my whole life. And I just always remember Gene Simmons talking about comic books and demons and Space Freely. You know, Spacey was like, okay, he's into space. That's cool. Paul Stanley was kind of weird. Like, what's that star on the eye? I mean, you know, he looked kind of like a cat, like Felix. There's like a cartoon cat that had a patch on his eye. I never got into Paul Stanley's, I guess, what is it called? Character. He had the big hairy chest, a star on his eye, and he was like the love child. And I'm like, love child? Isn't that a Diana Ross and the Supreme song? So I didn't get into that. I played drums. I love Peter Criss. And the cat, I'm like, I was more of a dog guy. I mean, I dig cats too, but I never got into Peter Criss because he was the cat. And if he was a dog, I probably would have liked his character more. But I kept going back to Gene. You know, the tongue, the blood. And then he goes, I love gore. I love scary movies, thrillers, Vincent Price. And I'm like, I think I do too, because I think the craziest, wildest character in Kiss was Gene Simmons's Demon. So Roger Corman, Faster Pussycat, you know, everyone thinks of the famous band with Tammy Down if you're a hair band sleaze metal guy, but you know, they got the name off just a cheesy, campy, crazy movie. A guy named Roger Corman and some other guys, there was a film company called Troma, and they make the worst movies, but they're the best movies. Plan 9 from Outer Space. God, I'm so jealous when that Ed Wood movie came out. I mean, I know Ed Wood, he dressed as a woman, he had a crazy, crazy personality, but I am so jealous of Ed Wood because he had no money, not a lot of talent, but he did whatever it took to just make movies. And I'm more of a music guy. I'm not very good at acting. I've been in a couple movies. I think I'd be an excellent producer because I'm really good at organization and stuff. But I was so jealous when I saw Ed Wood. I'm like, God, I wish I would have been more like Ed Wood and just said, look, I don't have no money. I probably don't have any talent to make movies, but I'm going to make movies. And that's what Ed Wood did. And he did it in a beautiful lingerie. I don't know how good I'd look in lingerie or a teddy or a bustier right now, but I really admire Ed Wood because he followed through with his passion. And I admire anyone that does that. And when it comes to like how popular Comic-Con is, sports memorabilia, and just movies in general, but when it comes down to the scary movie niche, I've always been that first. Space was cool with Star Wars, and you know, there's so many great space movies out there. Star Trek, I mean, they're just awesome. But I liked Fangorium. I liked Chopper Chicks from Zombie Town. I liked Frankenhooker, where a man cut up hookers, sewed her together, and she was Frankenhooker. That shit I'll watch all night long with you guys. If you guys are here, I got a giant 73-inch stereo with surround sound Bose in the next room. If you guys are here right now, let's watch Frankenhooker. It's the worst movie made, but I love it. It's so badass. I have a DVD or a VCR copy of it. And when you open up the flap to where the VCR is in, it has a little, you know, when you buy cards, you open up a card and it goes, happy birthday to you, or there's like, you know, you open it up and there's like a little mini speaker with probably a calculator battery and whatnot. I'm such a fan of Frankenhooker that they made a VCR copy you could purchase, and when you open it up, it had a little speaker in it, and all the phrases of Frankenhooker are in that. And I'm the only one that probably ever bought it. But when it comes to crazy, stupid, insane movies, I'm there. Sharknado, for example. Sharknado to me is like, Jesus Christ. It's the worst movie ever made. And of course I'm going to watch it. I think there's 6 of them now. I mean, there's sharks invading New York, just like Jason takes Manhattan. I had no idea that there was a shark problem in New York. But when I watch Sharknado, oh my God, there's killer sharks. I'm never going to New York. I'm probably going to get eaten. And oh my God, is that the girl from American Pie? Tara Reid. Everyone's like, oh my God, what happened to her? She's crazy. What? Oh my God, her career. I'm like, no, she's in Sharknado. I look up to Sharknado more than American Pie. the worse the movie, I think. I love it. Everyone's like, oh, their career's over. I'm like, bullshit. She's in Chopper Chicks from Zombie Town Part 9 in 3D. And the Rocky Horror Picture Show, forget about it. It's one of my all-time favorite musicals and movies, period. It's up there with Grease. All the other musicals are just kick-ass too, but oh my God, that Rocky Horror. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up, and I'm going to share my screen. Let me share my screen with you fine folks. Let me flip it over here. All right. Anyway, Matthew, I don't know if you're watching live, but I got a good buddy, Matthew. We've done radio clear back in 1999 or 2000. Matthew just told me that he was affiliated with Chris Devine, good buddy of mine, and the Blaze and U92. But yeah, Matthew, he's a big old maniac like myself. Matthew's the kind of guy that stays up late and goes, man, if there's blood, guts, and a horrible script, I'm watching it. And that's me. Boy, you ever need a person to watch late night shit movies with blood and guts? I'm right there, man. I'm there with popcorn and everything. So if you guys look at my screen and you live in Salt Lake City or just somewhere close, a huge event's coming. It's called FearCon. Okay. And if you're looking at my screen, just go to FearCon. There's like Comic-Con and all these other cons, but FearCon, what a great name. I think you guys can, definitely remember it. But if you're in Salt Lake City, check it out, man. And just to here, let me go to, okay, here's the homepage. And you can tell, man, it's right around Halloween too, which is going to be just even a bigger turnout. But what they do is they just celebrate gore, guts, Sharknado, horrible blood made of corn syrup. And it's going to be awesome. 2019 FearCon and the Vampire Circus. If you guys know Jim, oh God, there's crazy circuses like Freak Show. You guys have heard the term Freak Show. See the bearded lady, look at the guy with the four noses. I mean, the Vampire Circus. Let's just go through it now. It's only about a week away. Like right now, it's October 3rd right now. It's after midnight. So coming up the 11th and the 12th, and it's just out in West Valley. If you guys are watching this live or the recording of it, just type in Riverbend Event Center. It's easy to find. It's in a big warehouse. There's parking. I mean, it's really easy to find. The 11th and 12th, you can see it's on a Friday, Saturday. I don't know which day is better. So just go to the day that you can spend hours and walk around and check out the special events and all the crazy shit. Now, on Friday, it's 3 to 11. Saturday, it's noon to 8. Okay. And then there's on Friday night, if you want to come just dressed like a crazy maniac or a wacko or like a drop dead, gorgeous, sick, sexy zombie, they have a costume party 9 to 1. And that's always fun because these fear cons, what I appreciate about it is that people attend and they love to participate. How many costume parties or Halloween parties do you go to? Only 20% of the party dress up, and then the other guys are like, oh, I ain't gonna dress up. With FearCon, you get maniacs and fun psychos. I mean, those are my type of people. So, but yeah, October 11th and 12th, you guys can see there if you just go to feardon.com. Free parking, which is nice. You don't have to pay like $10 for this and all that other shit. And then the entertainment, you can see the Vampire Circus. That's awesome. You have to pay a couple more bucks. With general admission, you can walk around and just go crazy. There's tons to do just with a GA ticket. But if you pay a couple extra bucks, you can see some of the special shows that are coming, like Vampire Circus. Lizard Man's crazy. I know Lizard Man. He's got his tongue cut like a dragon. His whole body is tattooed like lizard scales. He's got all these horns, and he's just a psycho, and it's fun. It's like campy. It's cool just to say, hey, I got a picture with Lizard Man. He's famous. So Dan Sperry, Captain and Mabel, these guys are just icons in the fear and the gore category of fun. And it's going to be fun, the Freakmon experience. If you guys want to see what it is, just hit more information, and it'll tell you about each form of entertainment. But like I said, even if you get just a GA ticket, and look, it's totally affordable. This isn't like hundreds and hundreds of bucks where it sucks all your money and life out of you. But check it out, man. If you just want to go GA and have a good time, look at that. 15, 20, 25 bucks. Everybody has that. If you have a cell phone and you're watching Facebook right now, you guys can afford to go to FearCon. So very affordable. If you guys want to buy t-shirts and some crazy stuff like I'm going to do, I love the exhibitors, because I'm going to be in the section where they got t-shirts and crazy stuff. And if they got a keychain of Jason with a hockey mask. Of course I need that. Doesn't everybody need a Friday the 13th keychain or something cool like a statue? And if you guys looking back at me, I've got so much gore and crazy shit. I've got all the bloody monsters and all that shit. But yeah, it's affordable, man. So, you know, October 11th and 12th. Do you guys want to see some of the celebrities who are going to be there? Of course you do. If you guys are watching me late at night, man, let's just have like a little peek and see who's coming. Now, of course, everyone is going to go, Tara Reid, you're that sexy babe on American Pie. Is that the guy that had sex with the pie in the chicken or in the kitchen? Now I'm like, no, that's the sexy blonde in Sharknado 1 through 6. So, she's a hot mess. Who doesn't love a blonde girl that is posed nude, that is crazy everywhere she goes? She's probably the funnest, most out of control girl at any party. And you can see if you have $30, a couple more bucks, you can get a selfie or you can get a picture with her. And if you guys have been to cons, that's how it is. I mean, if you have your favorite artists or actresses or singers, you know, if you have a couple extra bucks, get a badass photo. I think having Tara Reid just hugging me, like if she would like dry hump my leg while I do the devil sign, I mean, God, that'd make my life. So, and if I can do that for $30, of course I'm going to. But yeah, you can see Alone in the Dark, American Pie, Party Bus to Hell. Tara Reid has been in Party Bus to Hell. Who doesn't want to watch that? Probably drinking beer, eating popcorn, probably nude on the couch at 3 a.m. I'm pretty sure I do all that except for drink beer. I don't drink beer, but I do everything else. So anyway, Tyler Mane, he's in the newer versions. Now, you guys know Rob Zombie from White Zombie, and obviously Rob as a singer. Everybody knows that he's a kick-ass gore fan. He loves the fear shit. So of course, you know, he rebooted. You know, reboot is like, you know, you got Star Trek from the 60s, and then you do the movies from the 70s and the 80s, and then you reboot it. You get like actor Chris Pine, and you come up with a new version of something super famous. You know, that's what Rob Zombie is very good at doing, like with Halloween, for example. And people like it because it's a little more aggressive, not so weird. It's more gory in your face. But check it out, Tyler Mane. Super famous guy, especially if you're into the fear and all the blood. Look at Scout Tay. Man, she's coming. She's like the sexy blonde that Rob Zombie likes to put in Halloween. And Rob Zombie's real life wife is pretty dang hot, you know. But yeah, look at that. Scout Taylor Compton, man. Look at that. Look at her. Just beautiful face. And she's awesome. She knows how to scream. She knows how to have blood just running all over her. It just like tearing up the screen. That's my kind of actress. So yeah, but Scout Taylor's going to be there. Tara Reid. I mean, I think everyone knows Tara Reid, you know, obviously. And this is awesome. I'm a big fan of this lady's mom, and I know that she doesn't want to talk about it probably, but when your mom is a Charlie's Angel, you guys remember Cheryl Ladd? I mean, who doesn't? My gosh, Farrah Fawcett, Jacqueline Smith, Kate Jackson. They had Shelley Hack, but oh my God, Cheryl Ladd took over Farrah. And she became just as hot as Farrah. And then Cheryl had this pretty daughter. Look at her face. This is Jordan. Tell me that does not look like Cheryl Ladd in the 70s when she ruled Charlie's Angels. But I'm a fan of Jordan because I've seen all of her. You know, I've seen Cabin Fever. If you guys have seen The Hostel, oh my God, those movies, I recommend seeing them with a friend because Hostel Part 1, 2, and 3, they are so real and so creepy. Minus the blood and guts, but I swear to gosh, I am never going to Europe, and I will never, ever, ever stay in a hostel because of these movies she's in. I mean, they are scary, but Jordan Ladd's there. Oh, here's Lizard Man. See, he cut his tongue up. He's got all the tattoos. He's got all these implants. I mean, he's super famous. You know, he'll be there. Dan Sperry, he's an illusionist. You know, you guys know what that is. You know, like David Copperfield meets Chris Angel. And Captain and Mabel, these guys are awesome. For a couple extra bucks, you can watch them, have a good time. And this little child actor who's now grown up to be probably a big psycho. In real life, he'll probably be on the Forensic Files, but he's always the young Michael Myers. He's like the guy who's like, oh my God, weren't you the baby in Halloween? You know, it's like, then they always ask Dag here, they're like, did you have wacko parents? Because it's not normal when you're a little child actor, probably doing like Kleenex and little diaper commercials, where your mom and dad thought it was in your best interest to be in the most bloody guts psycho movie, the reboot where Rob Zombie really turned it up a notch. And then the Diggs parents go, oh yeah, man, I've got an adorable little blonde boy and he would love to be in a blood and guts movie. So I wish his parents were there. You know, I mean, it's cool to go, hey man, you're the child of Michael Myers, young Michael Myers, but is your mom and dad here? I'd like to talk to them about their probably bad parenting. So, but anyway, check the website. You can see all the guests and celebrities, but I only had enough time. I just want to talk about Tara Reid. Because Sharknado, they're so awful and they're so good. I mean, how can you not want to watch that at 3 a.m. eating popcorn nude on your couch? Come on, admit it. We've all done it. So anyway, yeah, FearCon is going to be awesome. And yeah, my buddy Matthew's watching still. I don't know if you're up late there, buddy, but I guess you're going to be in the special effects. You got a division there, or you're going to be working in that area. But special effects is just awesome when it comes to like makeup and coming up with the bone and the blood spurting out. And I think that would be so awesome. If I could redo my life over, I would. I mean, God, I'm more into the special effects and the blood and the guts than being an actor. I would want to be the guy that goes, oh my God, did you do the effects in Pinhead? Or how did you get the guts to come out in Alien? Or, I've always been fascinated with the special effects and the costume and makeup process, because it just starts out as a blank piece of paper. And then you got to do this and God, it's just so amazing. Even this logo to AC/DC, someone had to think it up once. And then all of a sudden you're alternate current or direct current. Or AC/DC means you're bisexual, like Joan Jett. That's why she's like AC/DC, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but you guys know someone had to come up with this badass logo. For one of my favorite bands of all time. Love AC/DC. Brian Johnson, he can sing again. His tinnitus, his ears are feeling good. So, yeah, you're going to get a brand new album with AC/DC, and I think they're putting Axl Rose on it too. So you might have a duet where they share vocals or do something cool, like Kiss has 2-3 singers. I mean, God, the Rolling Stones, even good old Keith Richards would sing a couple tunes. But I hope the new AC/DC album is within a year, like a year from now or sooner. I'm a big fan. But God, I love AC/DC. So anyway, I'll film as much as they allow me. Whenever I go to Comic-Con, they don't allow any filming or nothing because they want you to pay for autographs and all that stuff. So I'll take as many pictures as I can and kind of hype it up. But October 11th or 12th, it's a Friday, Saturday. If you're in Salt Lake City, you guys will go because it's so affordable and it's around Halloween. And there's nothing cooler than FearCon around Halloween, because you've got movies, entertainment, bands playing, crazy shit, contests. It's just as fun as going to a Halloween party at your buddy's house, because sometimes you go to a Halloween party, they're kind of boring, but they sound good. Like, man, Halloween party Friday. Then you go to it and you're like, no one got naked in the pool. That's kind of how I think, because I'm very shallow and desperate for a mannequin right now. But FearCon, cheers to all the people that said, let's make blood and guts like popular. If all we had was Superman, where he's polite all the time in spandex, walking around with a big old pecker, chasing Lois Lane, it's kind of boring. Thank God they have guys with chainsaws, people with masks made of flesh, people that wear hockey masks, people that wear William Shatner masks, even the band Ghost mask. Avenged Sevenfold, they're all 50s old farts like me. They have to wear masks because it makes Avenged Sevenfold look like they're young and sexy like we all were in the 80s. But now, damn it, it's 2019. Dang, our skin's wearing out. We're getting man boobs. Our hair's falling out. But we still think we're 20, don't we? I always tell everybody this that's younger. However you feel right now, you're going to feel the same when you're 30 years older. Just your skin's cracked. You might walk slower. You've got a lot of stories because you're going to start reminiscing like the Little River Band. So I go, man, you guys live more day to day. It's such a Facebook and a selfie world right now, but document too. If you're doing Facebook selfies of your face all the time, I mean, number one, why are you doing so many selfies? Because we know what you look like. Flip that damn camera around and start filming life. Do video, do pictures. I mean, if you go up in the mountains, film it. I don't want to see your face all the time like a selfie and you have one tree in the back. Flip that camera around. Start filming life. Come on, man. A lot of cool shit out there. But I think I've seen enough selfies, and I got plenty of selfies, but I love when people film what they're doing too. And I'm glad they do it in hockey masks. I wish I was on my webcam, or not on my webcam, because I'm dying to show you all of my Jason Friday the 13th stuff, because no one gives a shit what I do unless I maybe show a couple friends on my Facebook feed where I can go, God, I really got some cool stuff. Will you guys pretend to like it? Like, just say how cool it is in the chat room. And then the next day, everyone's like, God, that guy wastes a lot of stupid shit on those dolls. But I'm like, just pretend that you like it. So, all right. Well, anyway, good to see everybody. I just wanted to do live video here. I just had some badass cereal. I just had Cookie Crisp. I put a banana in it. And what I did is I let the milk sit for like 3 or 4 minutes so that the cookies, the chocolate powder of Cookie Crisp, vanilla powder, whatever it is, it kind of makes the milk. And then the cookies, there's something about milk and cookies, like peanut butter and jelly, salt and pepper. But dang, that Cookie Crisp, you let that shit sit for a couple of minutes before you eat those 1,000 calories. Good shit, man. So, all right. Well, hey guys, it's like 3 in the morning here. Feeling good. Had a pretty good night, man. I appreciate you guys just watching live, and I'll see you 1,000 more times. I usually do training videos right now for some stuff I do on the side, but yeah, tonight I just want to talk about FearCon and some other stuff going on in my old life. Anyway, that'll do it for me for now. Yeah, like I said, have a good morning. If you're in America, it's super early. You guys are getting up in a couple hours to go rock and roll. And if you're over in Asia, man, it's going on nighttime. You guys are clear in the future. So yeah, have a good time. And obviously I'll talk to you guys 1,000 more times. Boom, baby. FearCon, October 11th and October 12th. And like I said, I'll film and document as much as that company will allow me to. So, okay, take it easy. I'm going to go listen to some AC/DC actually. See you in a bit. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.